of Jesus Christ. A lot has been happening on the social media in the last few weeks' time about people who have been getting healed of HIV/AIDS. By the name of Pastor Godfrey, administrator of Seeta Victoria Cathedral, pastored by Pastor Henry Nyanzi. You've seen a lot of messages on Facebook, YouTube about people who have so far testified about getting healed from HIV/AIDS. This evening, we are having another friend of ours, a member of the church, by the names of Kibande Robert. He's going to tell us what happened to him and how he got healed of HIV/AIDS. Yes, brother, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm called Robert Kibande. It was around February 2016 when I discovered that I was HIV positive. That was after falling sick. At first I thought it was malaria. So when I went for medical checkup at the Maristop Clinic, after the medical checkup, they gave me a report indicating positive. I was so scared because I didn't expect it. I was so scared. This resulted in me to break into tears. I spent almost 2 hours in the clinic, not believing in the results which had been given. So afterwards, the doctor advised me to go for HIV viral load so that I can start on ARVs.
My brother, do you have, you see, there's a lot of tests you have given me here. Do you have one that shows Maristop's test?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this one? Okay. So this is the report which was given after indicating HIV positive.
And this other side is showing Robert Kibande, station where you get the material blood. It was on the 16th of February,
yes,
2016.
Yes.
HIV test.
Okay,
you can continue.
So when he advised me, I didn't believe in what he was telling me. Remember, I'd gone there a bit, it was a bit late. Actually, I left that place, it was coming to 10 p.m. at night. So I had to go home. The following day, I decided to go still for blood checkup in another clinic that was in Mukono town. I wanted to compare the results. That was, I went in Sir Albert General Clinic and the nursing home. It is located in Mukono, around that area of Collins Hotel. I think you
can see located opposite Sechibowo Road. People who know
Mukono,
Mukono,
Saza Road.
Opposite Sechibowo Road, going to Saza.
So this is the letter, Sir Albert General Clinic and Nursing Home. So this side, lab report. Okay. So getting this second report, I was so shocked, and that made me to.
It was a confirmation really that you have, you are infected.
So I was so confused, very confused, because I was like, what's next now? What will happen to me in the next 5 years? I had to think a lot of things, but I had to get back home after like 3 days. Remember, I spent 3 days taking sleepless nights without sleeping, trying to think what is next. I thought of going to Uganda Cares as they had told me before at Maristop, but I was like, no, I can't start on HIV, on ARVs.
Yes.
So, where I pray from, that is Seeta Victoria Cathedral. We've been seeing miracles happening.
Yeah.
And this made me to remember a lady by the name of Sister Naroga, who was healed from HIV. So I was like, if really this lady was healed from HIV, then why not me? Then from there I remembered the song of Pastor Wilson Bugembe, which says, Ekanisa lidwaliro ly'abalwadde, meaning the church is the hospital for the sick. So combining those two, I was like, no, instead of going to Uganda Cares, let me first go and share what has happened to me with my pastor. So I had to come to the church, where unfortunately that very day I didn't make it. I didn't manage to see the pastor, but I made an appointment with him.
Yeah.
So it was, I think, a Wednesday. That's when I went there. It was around the 4:30. So when I met him, he gave me a positive reception. I explained to him what had happened to me, each and everything. But he just told me one statement. He said, Brother Kibande, just know that HIV heals. Believe in God. God will heal that disease. So many miracles have happened in our church. So that is the word, being a man of God. It is the statement I did what? I took.
You have been talking about pastor. The people listening to you love to get to know the name of the pastor.
Oh. The pastor is called Pastor Henry Nyanzi Israel Salongo.
Yeah.
He's the pastor for that church, which for Seeta Victoria Cathedral. That church is located in Seeta Town. So, when I explained each and everything
To the pastor.
he told me, today I will not pray for you, but come back on Friday night prayers. I will do what? I will pray for you. Just believe that you will be healed. I said, okay. So when Friday came, I went back. That was a night prayer. That night, he prayed for me. After praying, he told me, tomorrow, go and make medical checkup. So that was a Saturday, because I was prayed on Friday. So on Saturday, I went at it is called the Mulago, but that is this Anglican hospital located in Mukono. I think you have the document there. This one. Mukono Church of Uganda. Mukono Church of Uganda.
So that is the carbon copy for the results.
Yes. So when I went to Mukono Church of Uganda Hospital, it was around the 2:30 in the afternoon. I would say fortunately, after the doctor taking the blood sample from me, I had to wait for almost an hour. When he brought the results, they were indicating non-reactive, as you see on this report. They were indicating non-reactive. So when I received this, it is somehow created some confusion into my mind. Remember, I had papers indicating positive.
Yeah.
Now, after being prayed for at Victoria Church Cathedral, it was indicating non-reactive. And the doctor told me,
Actually, the results were printed here on the printout. It is showing printed on the 20th of February 2016 at 4:22 and 31 seconds p.m.
So, afterwards, he told me, your results are indicating non-reactive. You should take care of your life. Be very cautious. It is very hard for people just to come on video basis and test for HIV.
You didn't tell the doctor what had happened to you before and the testings that you had made? I
did not tell him anything. I just went there as somebody making this normal check-out. So he didn't know anything about the previous tests I had made in other medical centers. Okay. Yes. So when it indicated negative, I was so happy in myself, very happy. But as you know, the first report I had received had created a positive impact on my mind. I couldn't believe it. So I decided to go back at Sir Robert Cook, where they had given me a positive report before. Just I wanted to compare it with the one I received at Mukono Church of Uganda Hospital. So at Sir Albert Cook, when I went there, it is unfortunate the guy who had worked on me before is the very person I found in the laboratory with a certain lady. So after taking the blood sample, this guy was like, but you came here 3 days back and we gave you your result. You were indicating positive. Why are you back again? I was like, I have come, I need to test for the second time. Don't mind about the first report. Just take a blood sample and give me a what? I don't know what happened, but after like 20 to 30 minutes, they called me in the lab and they were telling me, your report is still indicating positive. And I think, yeah, it is the one. That was on 20th. That very day,
because I think the camera will show very well. The first result was on the 17th of February. The first one was on the 17th of February 2016. This was the first result that showed positive. That is in Sir Robert Cook. That is the test result. Then this other result was on the 20th, still.
20th.
After 3 days.
After 3 days.
Yeah. That one now created a lot of confusion because it now showed positive again.
Yes, it now showed positive. So I had this one indicating positive plus.
So that was the test for 20th.
After the 3 days. 20th February.
Then so it shows Sir Albert Cook for the 2 times.
It was indicating positive.
Though you had a negative result from Mukono Church of Uganda
Hospital.
Yes.
Now,
move ahead.
when they gave me this second report,
that was positive.
Yes, I asked them a question. That why is it that I went at Mukono Church of Uganda Hospital, they gave me a report indicating negative, non-reactive, and for you are insisting that I'm positive. They asked me the document for Mukono Church of Uganda Hospital because they were not believing it.
Yeah.
So when I gave them this form, they had to cross-check the names, age, each and everything to compare the information whether corresponds with the information I had given them.
Yes.
So when they realized that the information is corresponding, by information, they were like, now we don't know what you should do you'll have to go for advanced medical checkup. Maybe that's when you'll get the
Best
results.
Yes.
So I was like, fine. But I don't know why for you are indicating positive and yet this side you are indicating negative. So I had to travel back to Seeta town.
So they told you came back to Seeta?
Yes, I had to come back to Seeta. Remember, I had the one indicating negative, another indicating positive.
Yeah.
So I had to go in another medical center just to see if I might get a different report from what I'd received in Mukono town.
Yeah.
That is in Seeta town. I went at Mukono International Medical Center. There's a branch that medical center is opposite Mukono stage. If you're in Seeta, people know that stage. It is just opposite. Or it is opposite Strado Hotel.
Here I can see Mukono International Medical Center. They have microbiology stroke radiography department. It has 3 branches. Wantone Chirangira branch, Mukono town branch, and Seeta branch.
So that is the medical center I went to for after coming from
on the same day of 20th.
That very day.
Okay.
That very day. So this is the. So when I went at Mukono International Medical Center, it took like 40 to an hour to give me the results. So afterwards, the doctor called me, the nurse told me, it is indicating negative. But before giving me the report, he asked me, why have you decided to make this checkup?
Yeah.
Because it's people don't just come in to do what? To make such medical checkups. I was like, I always do it. It's my routine. Every after 3 months, I have to make what? HIV test. He was like, okay, fine. Then that's good.
So
your
they made the test
results are indicating that you are negative. This is the medical center, Mukono Seeta branch, sorry.
So the results?
This is the lab report. So it was indicating negative. And he encouraged me just to take care of my wati, because he was like, good, it's good now you've known your status, you need to keep yourself, you need to make sure that you don't just play around with your wati. So that very day.
There's one thing that is amazing in these results. These are 3 results made on the same day of 20th. One made on 20th of February 2016 at 4:22 p.m. These other 2 don't show the time, but this one is non-reactive. The first test that you made at Mukono
Church of Uganda Hospital.
You go to Salbert Cook on the same day of 20th.
Yes.
It shows reactive or positive. Then that same day on 20th again of February 2016, you now come to Seeta,
Mukono International Medical Center
branch. They give you another result showing non-reactive or negative.
Yes.
So there are 3 results, 2 negative, 1 positive.
Yes.
Let's continue.
So from there, I moved directly to the church, because at least having received 2 reports indicating negative, then 1 report indicating positive.
Yeah.
At least in myself, I felt like maybe that there is hope.
Something is happening.
I'm just becoming resistant, but maybe I'm healed, because you cannot have 2 reports from 2 different medical centers indicating negative, and maybe you still have that doubt. So I had to move to the church. Good enough, I met the pastor. So I gave him these 3 reports, sorry. I explained to him. One was indicating negative, positive, 2 were indicating negative. He was like, Brother Kibande, you already healed. There is no need of even getting worried. Because if you have 2 reports indicating negative, then 1 report indicating positive, according, what do you think? So from there, after having the counseling with me, he called the church administrator, the one I'm having an interview with right now. He's the church administrator. So he tried to show him these documents or this medical report. So, but they were like, since he's having 2 reports, and today is a Saturday, tomorrow he's going to come. Actually, the pastor told me, tomorrow come in the service, I pray for you for the 2nd time. But as you know, that positivity had already entered into my wati.
You have seen positive results before, you are now seeing negative results. You are not yet still contented.
So, when I narrated my story to the counselor, she was like, let me refer to the head of laboratory. He's called Dr. Kizito. So I went to the lab in his office. I explained to him. So I was like, I have medical reports indicating I'm HIV positive. So
your test has shown I'm negative now.
That's why my confusion is coming. So this doctor was like, for us here, by the time we give out a report, when we try to take our time to examine each and everything. If it is indicating non-reactive, then you shouldn't be worried. Ignore the first reports, now take our report. He even went back today in the lab to cross-check the machine to see whether
the printout
it is the same with in the soft copy.
Yes.
He was like, but what is on the machine, it is what they have printed for you. Take this. You are HIV negative. On Tuesday, that was a day after this report, I went back to the church. At least that day, I had made my conclusion that I'm HIV good
negative.
I'm HIV negative. So when I went to the church, I was so happy. Good enough, I met pastor. The pastor was ready at the church. I explained to him. But for him, he was like, Brother Kibande, may I told you, you already healed. I don't know why you are still having that negative attitude that you are still positive.
Yeah.
You already healed. The other day you gave me 2 reports. Now this is from SAS. For us, we trust SAS reports. And since it is indicating negative, you already healed. Next Sunday, just come and give the testimony. I was like, no. Okay, I accepted. Being man of God, I accepted his words. But in me, I was like, which method should I use at least to come up with a conclusive report on these tests? It was, I think, a Thursday. Actually, that very day, they had a discussion with the administrator. So the administrator was like, actually the one I'm talking with at the moment, he was like, let him go for HIV. Okay, you go for DNA test. Or if he cannot go for DNA test, let him go to Uganda Virus Institute in Entebbe and test. Maybe we compare and see. That's the same thing I did. The following day, I went to Entebbe at that institute. Unfortunately, they told me they don't do those tests within that institute. I was referred to their clinic. So when I went to the clinic, that is Entebbe. It is called the Entebbe Health Center 3, something like that. But it is attached to that institute. So when I went there, I met the doctor. I told him I need to make
A DNA test.
a DNA test. He was like, but DNA, you can do it anywhere. We have medical centers and hospitals in Kampala where you can make those DNA, that test. Because for us here still, we don't have that machine here in this clinic. We are going to take what we can do to take a sample. Maybe we make the test. Maybe another thing we can do, taking the sample and take it to the institute. But going all through that, why? Just go to any hospital, they have good machines. We trust them. I was like, okay. So, we had agreed I was going to make that DNA at that clinic. But based on the information which I had received from that doctor, I decided to do that DNA test in Kampala. I had to travel back to Kampala. When I came back to Kampala,
Because with me, I can see on the 14th of March 2016, test requested for was HIV DNA PCR / QT. That was the test that was made. The report was generated by Namukwaya Margaret. Here it is showing the collection of the blood sample was done on the 29th. Okay, I'm now getting the collection of the blood sample was done on 29th of February at 5 or 17 hours 14 minutes. Then report was generated on the 14th of March. It is after 2 weeks. At midday, 12:40 by Namukwaya Margaret.
so when I came back to Kampala, that day I didn't have money. Because they had told me that DNA will cost me 150,000. So the following day, I went back at SAS clinic.
That was on the 29th.
Yeah, on 29th. That day, I requested the receptionist to talk to the doctor. They made for me an appointment with the doctor. So when I met the doctor at SAS, I tried to explain to him, I'm getting varying reports, positive, negative. How can I get a conclusive report? Then he was like, hey, but for us here, our report, since you have a report from here, we trust our machines. Maybe what you can do, you do a test after 3 months, something which I responded, and this is the report. So this report, it was the blood collection was done on 29th of February. I received the report on 14th of March. That's the day I received this report. And when it came out, it was indicating negative. Results negative. So when the doctor gave me this report, This is Dr. Namukwaya Margaret is the one who generated this report. I was like, glory be to God. I was very, 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 very happy. I was too excited to see this DNA report because it indicated that now, this is defined what? If you maybe have received this HIV, let me say in the morning, and you go for this checkup,
the DNA,
there is no way they can fail to get to know whether you are positive or negative. So it made me to have a conclusive results over that from the reports I used to get. Brethren, I'm very, very, very happy. That day I was very happy. Actually, I was forced to go and talk again to the head of lab, which they accepted. He also explained to me each and everything. So, nothing much I can say.
They concluded that you are negative.
The conclusion which they gave me,
you are
HIV negative. This is the final report. So they just requested me if I feel like always to make those tests after 3 months.
As the church administrator, the last word I have for you, after having invited you, you have seen most of these reports. We are already having on Facebook 2 people testifying about being healed of HIV. You get time. I know there are medical personnel people there who are technically knowledgeable about these tests. You go to SARS, go to these hospitals, Mukono Church of Uganda Hospital, go to Mukono International Medical Center, all these hospitals. Go and make research. This one is called Brother Robert Kibande. There is Mrs. Tamare Ibrahim. Then there is Nachusiwa. Go and make research. And the doctors who worked on their samples, go and give them a try and see if what we are saying is really true. But we know the mighty hand of God can do much better than what the doctors think. Thank you very much, Brother Kibande. What I can tell our viewers that next time we shall be coming back with Brother Kibande. This gentleman you're seeing over here, in the last 2 weeks, actually it was on the 20th. You tied knots with your loved one. He's married. What I know, God has blessed them. By November, we shall be expecting to have a bouncing baby, whether a baby boy or a baby girl. But we are going to come back with a testimony from the partner, the spouse. They have tested, when they were in courtship, they tested over 6 times. Even Kibande himself had a lot of doubt before, up to when he did the DNA test. The same applies to this young lady. She had to have a lot of doubts, though she had fallen in love with him, but they made over 6 tests. Next time, we are coming back with those tests, and Irene will be here, seated, in this position where I'm seated, testifying about God's goodness, and how God really blessed him with a handsome man, the one you're seeing here, who was healed of HIV/AIDS. We are from Seeta Victoria Cathedral, pastored by Pastor Henry Nyanzi, the man of God. God sent him to set the captives free. Let us meet there at Seeta Victoria Cathedral. Come and witness the mighty hand of God in that place. You're warmly welcome. Your problems will go, your diseases, poverty, whatever you feel like. Come over to Seeta Victoria Cathedral. You will get God's blessing. Thank you very much.